Good evening and welcome to Waking God's Child YouTube channel. I'm here with my co host, Candy Nelson. We're coming to you live again. As you know, earlier I came on with my little spill about drones, but with that respect and that left in mind, hello, Candy. How are you tonight?
Itchy, itchy.
Itchy, me too. I heard that one. I heard that one. So I'm hoping that you had a good past week. Seemed like you did when I talked to you earlier. Anything new going on with you before I get right into tonight's title, which I put drones everywhere. I titled drones everywhere. So, but
Nope.
anything that you'd like to share right off the bat, or
No, we'll just save all that for another time because
for
I'm still
another?
in La
Yeah,
La Land over that doctor's appointment. I'm like,
bless your heart. And that was yeah. We need to definitely once you get through this, we need to definitely put this on so that others can and learn and from the experience, I should say. What I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say anymore.
from the trauma, from the trauma.
I mean, I'm trying to say something. I just don't know what. All right, so I'm going to overlay the restream comments here, so that if we have, well, actually we have 7 people on here. So if you're watching, feel free to comment and put any of your comments here, and we'll try our very best to not skip you, not miss you, and answer those. But again, tonight's title was Drones Everywhere. And I'm sure all of you are familiar with the title, or more than likely why that title's here, unless you're like me and probably Candy. We don't watch the news per se. But I just so happen to, well, I have to see my mom and dad, of course. And it's all over his news channels there, about these drones hovering and flying over the U.S. everywhere. They're being seen everywhere by the dozens and in fleets, and some saying the size of small cars, some saying the size of school buses. So of course, that portion's hearsay, but there's lots of documentation on it, and as well as video footage. Well, I'm just here to tell you that just in the last 3 weeks, I've a slew of that same stuff. And I live in Sealy, Texas, Podunk, Egypt, where there ain't nothing going on out here, and I cannot be that interesting. So there's something more to this, I guess, is what I'm getting at. So I was going to share just some of this footage I saw, Candy, and I was wondering your thoughts on it too. Are you seeing the lights in the sky very much there? Or have you been out really to look lately? Or I don't even have to try to look. If I go somewhere, there they are. So, but are
No,
you
but
experiencing that?
no, but I don't know if you remember me telling you about years ago. My daughter lived on the second floor in a condo, and I went out on the little screened-in balcony. I was just sitting
Yes.
there about 3 o'clock in the morning, smoking a cigarette. I'm looking on the internet, and I was looking down at my phone. All of a sudden, I look up, and there was this big drone. It was like the size of a Goodyear blimp right in front of me, and I was like,
Huge. Wow.
"Yeah, it was
Yeah.
so huge." And I was just
How
like,
many years ago, if you don't
"Oh
mind?
my God!" It was probably, I don't know, maybe 8, maybe 9 years ago.
Thank
Um,
you. I needed that for
yeah,
just
I
a
grabbed
little
my
point of.
phone. Well, I grabbed my phone because I was gonna record it, and no sooner than I went to go switch over to the camera to pull it up, they were gone
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And
So
I'm like, "Was that a
that's what I
UFO?"
was thinking.
I
They
was
just
like,
disappear, right?
well, I was wondering, was that a UFO or was it a drone? But they were, like, looking, I mean, it was like targeting me.
Yeah.
It's just like, I was
So
watching my
and that goes
grandkids.
along with feeling that spiritual warfare portion of it, correct? That's kind of how I took it. But I guess that was earlier my point. I came on earlier just to kind of give like a little quick blurb of, well, it wasn't quick because I ranted, but of what they're recently experiencing. People are starting to wake up, is what I think, because you said 8 years ago. Mine's been at least 8 years that I've been. Hi, Gator. So glad to see you here. And I bet Gator has been seeing these lights in the sky as well, that they are dubbing as drones. But what people are saying is that, they're seeing it recently. They're hovering over Washington, D.C., they're hovering over our military bases, but they're also hovering over Lisa here in Podunk Sealy, Texas. And I'm sure Gator and you and everyone else. So I guess what I'm getting at is this is probably nothing new. It's just that people are maybe just starting to wake up some. and be more aware that, or it is a programming to some respect. And when they plant the seed, then people wake up and they see it. I don't know. There's a lot to this, and I do believe AI has a lot to do with it. That could be in my mind, the only thing that could fly a fleet of drones over not just our nation, but I mean Canada, like all over. They're seeing this, especially here in the U.S. So, but like you said, they disappear really quick, and a lot of people are talking. They're diving into the ocean. They're going under. They're coming up. They'll be gone in the blink of an eye, or lights on, lights out, or some mimicking UFOs, or airplanes, or helicopters. So, I guess my point is, mimicry is real for sure, but don't question what you're seeing. You're seeing what you're seeing. It's real. It is real, but I don't. Are they drones? I mean, my thought was with my earlier rant was no, they're not. I believe that these are, what's been around forever and a day, and they're not
Well, like I
stupid.
said,
Like I
that
said,
thing was so big, and it was so big, and like I said, specifically, it was obviously wanting me to see it because it was like right outside the balcony, right in my
right, and
face.
then you go to record it, and it's gone, right?
Right, that quick. I just looked up and it was gone. And I'm like, was that a UFO or was that a drone? I didn't know because I was in a big city, so
Yeah,
they could have had a big drone or something like the police or something, but why would
yeah.
you deliberately screw with somebody like that,
Well,
if you were
exactly, and that's the whole point. The people all over are reporting this right now. Like it's starting to be now. We've been reporting it forever and a day, but we are just crazy. But now the whole world, like people are like coming out of their homes and they're on news channels. Are saying like you should see. Like I watched it. It was right there and it was gone. And um, so again, my experience has been for years now, well at least the last 8 to 9 years. But I have, the last 3 weeks, I'm getting ready to just show you not even a quarter of them. And they're short, but I'm going to try to pull those up here if you just bear with me and believe in me. Everyone, if you just say, I believe in her, I think I can do this. So let me just try this, though. We'll
snap
see
my
how
heels
good I am.
together. But
What's
another
that?
thing too, when I think about, all these apocalyptic movies, where
Hmm.
there's like people are shooting them things down left and right. I'm like, when is that gonna start?
That's the other thing I was talking about because here our government is they're flat out saying they don't know what they are. But they are not, they say, well, they're so far posing no harm. Not even the point. Okay, so I find this crazy because we clearly shot down a weather balloon that crossed from Canada into the United States in 2.3 seconds, not even giving it a thought under Biden's, order and command. And
And
that could have
there's
had
no
a
telling,
bioweapon on board. It could have had anything, right?
right?
But
There's no
we just
telling
shot
what
it
could have
down.
been. There's no telling what could have been dispersed or like over
That's what
our.
I was saying. It could have had a bioweapon or anything. And we just bam. But here we have these drones. And it's the weirdest part is it's not just crossing from Canada to the US. It is like quite literally um, hovering over Washington, D.C., going over our military bases and everywhere else, including 76 acres and Podunk Sealy. But the point is, all our government can say when, given like when they're interviewed or whatever, they're just like, oh, well, they're no threat. They're posing no threat, but no, we don't know what it is. That tells me they know exactly what it is because, hello, if I go fly a drone over Washington, D.C. right now, guess where I'm going? And guess what's happening to my drone above? That mother trucker's coming down and my ass going behind bars probably for life. Okay, let's just put it politely, but not politely. Like that's the truth.
Right.
So right now, what I'm going to show you all, and I'm going to take the chat overlay down just for a second. Hello, Hottie, Hottie, Hottie. So glad to see you. Love you. Love you guys so much. Gator,
Hi,
I'm so glad to
Gator.
see you. I haven't seen you forever. So
Hi,
I'm going to
Gator.
play this first one. I'm sorry.
I said, hi, Gator.
Yeah, I saw he's put some really good videos up lately, but for whatever reason they don't notify me. I used to get notified, but we all know how that works. Censorship is so freaking real. All right, so let me just go ahead and try to take the chat overlay off so that you guys will be able to get the real deal over this. Okay, I'm gonna make this large here. And oh nope, I'm not going to make this large here because I made us large. So nope, that's so not working either. Well, I'll be dang. Let's go back here. Let's go here. Why did that just happen? This is not even surprising me at all right now. All right, so let me go to this first one and let's see if I can get this back where it was. Because right now, go down. Let's see. All right, let's put this one back up. I think we got this, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see how long I got this, but let me go down to play here because I'm trying to juggle screens. And now that I upgraded and this, whatever this restream is, why is this doing this? Okay, hold on. Just bear with me. I will get there. All right, let me play from here.
Y'all, they really can't, they cannot help themselves tonight. They just can't.
I don't know if I can make this
Nosy
bigger.
little
I need to make this bigger.
truckers. Okay, go hide in the tree again. Whatever. Good gosh.
How do I?
Mm.
I want to try to make this.
Just
Let's see here.
humorous at this point.
I don't know how to make it bigger. There we
They were
go.
sleeping, I swear. These things were happening.
Okay, so this one's a mild one, all right? So this is kind of like mid-November, and again, this is not even a quarter of what I've actually seen. So this is just one of the days, and there was probably even a million more that happened besides that day. I know there was actually, but let me get somewhere here towards the end here. Okay, so we're gonna go back. So I'm gonna hit the back button here, so bear with me. And we're gonna go to the very next one, which would be, I mean, I have a lot of them. I just put a very small handful in here, but so I'm gonna go to this one next and play and then go full screen again. But I mean, this is just Podunk Sealy, Texas here, where these drones are most definitely drones, quote unquote, because I mean, hello, they're not stupid. They're going to mimic things. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. I just don't know. I have to laugh when people are like, well, it's blinking lights. That's an airplane. It's just like, well, I'm a private investigator. Do you think I walk in a Barney suit? No, we try to blend in. Well, I'm pretty sure these guys are smart enough to blend in too. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. I just like, I need to color a picture and it still probably wouldn't work for some people. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be direct. So, okay. So again, and I have several here, but I mean, it gets wild. It gets so wild. And you guys see like how these things act. They come at me, I'm videoing, and they will my video camera won't be moving. I'll hold it as steady as I can, and it'll just come flying at me, get really big and then I need to go back to the one I was just at, but
I don't know what this thing is.
so it'll do that. And this is a little short one here. But I mean, again, let me go back to the one where I just was because I didn't mean to do that. Nope, definitely didn't mean to do that. All right, so let me go back to this one here. Or not, but maybe. Just like I said, just bear with me. I am no Einstein when it comes to doing this, and especially because I don't do it enough to get that familiar with it, but I am getting there.
Y'all, they really can't, they cannot help themselves tonight. They just can't.
That's the one we were at, but
Nosy little truckers.
mother trucker.
Okay, go hide in the tree again. Whatever. Good
Okay, so
gosh.
that's the one that we kind of saw. I'm going to go back to that very next one, though. This thing will get big. It just kind of blows up at me. It's really strange. Why did that just do that? Go back to here. I got to talk myself through life, like quite literally with everything I do. I have to talk myself through it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. All right, let's see if we can get it here. So this is me coming home, and this thing here, no, that's the moon. But this thing here was like there the whole way, but this is not the one I was looking for. So like I said, these are all just short little clips, but it's just to show you like through the month of November till now, till right up till today. these things have been just nonstop. But they always are. I mean, this is like the story of my life, that one we watched. All right, I'm going to scroll down. So, but I mean, I'm not the only one experience. Like, there's so many people, and the news is talking like, you know, this just happened. It's just so recent, and it is. It's not. It is so not just recent. It's been happening, man, for a while. Okay, what did happen here? Let's see. Meet your new sidebar. I no, thank you. I don't want to meet anything new right now.
Your sad slice.
Right. So then you know, I mean, I was actually, believe it or not, I was on the phone. I think I was on the phone with you, so I had to like screen record, which almost helps because it almost makes it a slow motion, but not. But you can get more of a physical, you know, look out of it that way. So that was just a different night, you know. So we're in November and we're getting close to December here, though. Hold on here. Are these the same? No, they're not. I tried to keep them all in this under drones here, so I have to keep my work in that separate different drop boxes for my surveillances. So I get them confused sometimes. All right, let's do this one. Let me guess. Meet your new sidebar. Nope, not doing it. All right, so here's. I think this was the 6th of December here on this one. But you know, you're driving along. Now, keep in mind, everywhere I go, there they are. But like, you know, this one's kind of like almost side by side, and it couldn't have been more than, I mean, maybe 1,500 feet off the ground. You can see the tree line kind of through there. But you know, I mean, so you know, it's not a star. You know, it's not an airplane. And there was no noise, even because when I get home, it's still there, and there's nothing. You can't hear the sound of a whizzing or whirring noise that a drone, quote unquote, would make. But I mean, these are the same things being shown on, you know, every news channel and a million YouTube channels talking about this. And this personally forever and a day. I don't know how it's just new news suddenly. But I do think that there is suddenly becoming, no, I don't want to download none of that. Don't talk to me like that in that tone of download. So I don't know. I think people are just becoming more aware or awake, maybe. Or when the news is reporting these things, we already know that news works for a certain side. So it kind of does make you wonder if, in fact, that maybe, you know, they want us to think they're drones and they want us to think, you know, this or that, when in fact it's probably something else. That's how I look at it, because we already know that the news is nothing but bias and programming as well. So I have a slew more. I'll get to those right now as beyond me. Here we go. All right. So again, these are just little snippets here, but they're very relevant because this is exactly what everyone's talking about, and it's online everywhere. And again, I'm in Podunk Sealy, Texas, out in the middle of nowhere on 76 acres. And these things are everywhere all the time for me. But this is probably more of that beginning video. I'm driving home and they're just there. They're everywhere. There's 2 in this case. I'm getting ready to see 4 here shortly, but they just are absolutely everywhere. And this one is a terrible video because sometimes I'm just like, oh, I'm going to go ahead and video it. And it's very crappy, obviously, but not even the point because they get better. And it's not even that they get better. The point is it's happening. And the question is, why is it happening? Why is this happening? What's taking place now that other people are starting to see it? Why is our news channel suddenly okay with reporting about these things and talking about it? And what agenda are they actually pushing is my big question. Because there's definitely an agenda involved. I mean, whether it be an alien invasion or whatever they're wanting us to think, which most of us know that there's no alien invasion going on. But there is an agenda, and it's more like the fallen agenda, if you ask me. And I think it's more like leaning towards a reset, if that makes sense, which I know it probably does to a lot of you. But here we go.
Hey,
This is just here
I'm gonna
at my
step away.
house.
I'm gonna step away for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay, okay. So yeah, this is just right here. I was outside. Every time I walk, it doesn't matter when I walk outside, there they are. You know, in ones, fives, dozens. It just there they are every time. So this one's still going. Apparently it's got a load still. And this is about normal. Like when we show this kind of stuff, it just doesn't want to hurry it up along here. Not even surprised right now. I'm gonna go back maybe. There we go. No, this thing would just come at me, and then this white, I thought it was something on my windshield at first, but as you watch along, this white dot, that because I got in my car and I actually started driving after it, but it sometimes aligns with it. It's really strange, and the way that it acts and responds along with the quote unquote drone. So right here's at the top of my road, and this is the T of my road. So, but when I go to turn here, and now keep in mind I took a direct right turn, so I am now heading north. I was driving west. Okay, so I'm recording out my window, which would still be in the direction of west, where you see that. When I get to the stop sign, again, which would be direct north, watch this thing get directly in front of me somehow really fast. It just all of a sudden it's right in front of me, keeping in mind it's right here in the west. And I can't see it. All of a sudden I look straight into the north and there it is right in front of me. And of course, you got your airplane lights, as everyone wants to say and call them. Oh, that's definitely an airplane. It's blinking. I don't give a crap. I mean, if my freaking fart winked at me, that doesn't make it. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to say is, it doesn't matter. These are not stupid. I'm an investigator. I'm not stupid. I'm going to blend into my environment, and I am pretty damn sure that these folks are going, whatever they are, which I kind of know what they are, but they're going to blend in too. They're not going to come down and land on me. Hello, look at me. I'm a UFO. I don't have blinking lights and no roaring sound. And I don't have an engine. Can you tell that I'm doing the disco up here? Can you tell I'm a UFO? That, like, who would even think that that was a thing? I just don't get it. But I mean, you guys know, every channel you watch, that's the first thing. Oh no, see, they're blinking lights. Blinking lights. Those are blinking lights. It's definitely an airplane. I mean, please stop the nonsense. You're killing me with I'm going to just say it, stupidity. Just because you see blinking lights, all that means is they're smarter than you and they're smart enough to blend into their environment. Because, again, I'm not going to go investigate someone and walk in with a freaking video camera and walk right up to their face wearing a Barney suit. I'm going to blend into the environment to capture the footage, hence surveillance, that I need to capture, and which is these things are surveillancing us. So they're probably going to blink. They're probably going to try to look like anything. But if you notice and watch long enough, their blinks are off. They're not consistent with what an airplane would even do, even though it's clearly confusing people and working, on that level to make them think, oh, that's an airplane. See those blinking, see dimmed air blinking lights up there? That's an airplane. But I mean, you'll see something chime in here and there. You'll see another blinking. I mean, these things group up. They go in pairs. They go in 12s. They go in like dozens. They go in 24s. Like, I've seen many at a time. But you always seemingly, like, what I think is like a little spark that comes off the main one. It shoots like another spark off of it. And I know I'm not the only one that's talked about this. These bigger ones will kind of spark another orb, whatever you want to call it, initiate another, which some are calling drones because they have blinking lights, and if they don't have the noise, it's definitely a drone. Which is, it's all that's just so, just, you guys need to put that out of your heads, because that is not how it works. It's just not how it works. This is not like that. It's totally different. So as you can see, I'm still moving, and this is a whole different night. This is probably the 8th of December. Every one of these are different nights, by the way, since mid-November, and there's tons more. I'm just sharing a handful with you, but no star looks like that. There's no low-flying star. There's nothing here that an airplane's going to be making circles around me for days upon end, or just hovering and then suddenly start flying, or just disappear into thin air, which is what they do. And most are, see those blinking lights? There's a red and there's a green. That's a port and a starboard, or whatever you want to say it is. My dad and brother are pilots. But what I'm telling you is y'all are wrong for guessing just because it's fooling you. Yeah, you've been fooled. They don't have to have those. In fact, when the cars stopped, like when the cars passed me and they were no longer present, this is what it began to do to me. So like there was no other person around that could view it. So then all of a sudden everything stops blinking. You clearly see nothing's blinking now, and it becomes huge and it starts pulsating at me. So because I was zoomed in as far as I could to begin with. See that? And then it brought itself backward. So these things, I'm sorry, airplanes, that's not what's doing that at all. That's not what's doing that. And I don't know any other way to put it other than it's these things are not what people think. They're not what people think. They're something, all right. And yes, it's probably us. It probably is our technology, and technology is the key word there. And yes, there's definitely reconnaissance going on. There's surveillance, without a doubt. They are watching the human population. A lot of people are saying, well, this is China, or this is this, or this. Who knows? But the point is, a lot of these are diving into the depths of the ocean. A lot of these are, going way, like just zipping off into nowhere in 2.3 seconds. Nothing that we can do here as what we've been told. Let's put it like that. Unless it's projected imagery, and that's very possible. I mean, there's so many possibilities. But the point is, this is what the whole talk is about lately. And I'm just dying because this has been happening for a while. This is nothing new at all. It's just nothing. It's nothing new. Like this night, I had one coming from this way. And you'll see them meet up in the middle, but they hover forever. And I mean, again, I'm just kind of just a sneak peek of a day. This is just a normal day for me. This is how my life has been for over 8 years. This is my life. And, people are like, that's an airplane. Like, I am not stupid. I am probably very well. I fly probably more than anyone I know all the time. I have a brother and a father that are pilots. So I'm very well aware. I've been up in small craft many times with both of them. I've been in huge ones. I've been in Boeings. I've been in everything. I've been in military jets. You name it, I've been in. These are not freaking airplanes. I have a drone. It's a small one. I've been around big drones. These are not drones. What these things do are not typical. Just because they fool you for a minute with their blinking or their, whatever they're doing at the moment, trying to make you think, because that means they're doing a really damn good job at surveillancing you. That's what that means. That's all that means. You guys saw Predator. I know you saw the movie Predator. Well, this ain't no different. I mean, this is no different.
So normal. I mean, who doesn't ever just see it just hover there and not move? Because that's what all airplanes do.
Now keep in mind, this thing had been there forever, just doing just this, blinking. Oh, it's a drone. Oh, maybe not. Not even the point. Why are they here in Sealy and all over the world right now doing this to
Just
people?
pay that freaking attention.
There's something else going on. It's clearly obvious. So you can see one there, and they sat there for the longest time.
Come on, little cupcake. Bring it on.
Like I said, this is the story of my life, pretty much. And it's not like I'm thrilled about this at all. It's just that I want to share with everyone that was talking about this, that there's more than just this going on. It's been going on for a while, but it's not what you think. I'm not claiming to have the answers, but it is not what you think at all. It's just not. I mean, these things are there. And again, why would our government just allow this to keep happening, if in fact that were the case? Because again, we shot down and I think that was just used as an example, and they knew exactly what that weather balloon was as well. There was no doubt in my mind. They knew what they were doing, because they could have had bioweapons on board. They could have had all sorts of pathogens that would have freaking wiped out an entire continent. Okay. So it's 1 + 1 = 2. And if our military is that dumb, then we're that dumb for believing it. I mean, it's just plain and simple. But again, Our military is doing nothing about these. They're flying over, the Capitol. They're flying over our military bases, and nothing's being done. I'm sorry, but I am calling the bluff right now. Anyone and everyone that has even a partial brain should know that I wouldn't get away with it. You wouldn't get away with it. You go try to fly your drone right now out there and see what happens. Tell me what happens, I want to see what you have to say, because I'm pretty sure that you're going to probably go straight to, jail, just like I would. I'm just saying. Hi, Candy. So I actually had a ton more on there, but I'm going to actually put it together in a video format with explanations with all of them. But I was giving you guys a little, rundown of, this isn't just happening just now, today, or last week, or like the news is saying. This has been happening. Candy saw it, she saw it, big right in front of her, and then just goes away. And that was 8 years ago. Like, mine too. Like, this has been years happening. All this means is that, yep, conditioning is real, programming is real, mind control probably even more real, and the release of information so controlled, censorship so real. It just, but there's an agenda, because our government, if we are so like land of the free, home of the brave, it's more like home of the slaves and the indoctrinated. But the point is, if we shoot down a weather balloon and that quickly, that just crossed the border, not even knowing who we could kill with pathogens or whatever, if in fact it were carrying those, and there would be no way of telling, right? Just shoot it down and take that chance. But these are flying over our military bases, and we got some pretty, very hush hush, top secret things going on most of those bases. We do not know that. Well, so far they haven't posed any threat. So yeah, it's fine. We don't know who it is. And this is coming from our governmental leaders, guys. We don't know, but they haven't posed any threat yet. So
Yeah, but if that was the truth, they would want to get hold of it.
100%. That's why we know. Don't let the news fool you, and don't let our government fool. Our government knows, and our news channels, more than well, they're just told what to do, and they do. But in other words, like I said, go get your ass over there and fly a drone over one of the bases right now. Double dog dare you. Who's gonna do it? Nobody. You know why? Because your ass is going to the slammer if you do, and the drone is gonna get shot down because they know that one poses no threat. But they're not doing it to these, but they won't give us answers. So that tells you only one thing. Something huge is going on. It's been going on for a while, years now, not just today. But they're just slowly letting it start to leak out and letting people be aware, like, okay, you don't have to think that's an airplane anymore. It's actually a drone now. And what's it going to be next? It just, somebody farted and that's just the leftover. I mean, this is a slow indoctrination again. And again, it's still mind control at its finest. I mean, they're not making you think, they're leading you to think these things. And there's most definitely an agenda attached to it. Do I claim to have the answers exactly as to what it is? Nope. But do I have a pretty damn good idea? I do. I have a really good idea. But, discernment's real. I suggest all of you use your discernment. And I know Argo made the comment earlier on my stream that I did to see if the recording worked. And he said, well, yeah, but why are we worrying ourselves with it? Well, Argo, because if this is happening, we're worrying ourselves because that means our spirituality, our souls, everything within all of us is obviously at stake. And if we don't spread the awareness, we won't realize how very real and soon that it could possibly, quite potentially, and all the signs are showing that Jesus is coming. And we should be prepared, and we should be very prepared. And I have children with their souls at stake, and I love them so much. So I can't imagine not talking about it and spreading the awareness, because we should be soul prepping right now. Not just prepping here on earth, but soul prepping, being the best versions of ourselves we could possibly be. So I guess to answer your question, that's why. And I love you to death, but I hope you understand that's why I do it. And I actually recently had an acquaintance online when I was talking about chemical trailing. And she was like, well, yeah, I mean, it's there, but I mean, what are we going to do about it? What does it matter? We just got to live our lives. And that's upsetting to me, because it's like, yes, it's there. Yes, your health is at stake. Yes, people are dying from it. And yes, awareness should be raised, and maybe we can't do anything ourselves, but maybe there's someone out there that can. And if they can't, it doesn't matter. Maybe we should be soul prepping. And I'm always going to end it on that note. Soul prepping, soul prepping. That's why. That's why I do this. That's why the only reason I've ever done this with Morgellons or anything, soul prepping. Because anyone could say, well, why even talk about Morgellons? There's nothing we can do about it. We don't know that until we try. And
But you
again,
know what? That's not true. That's not
I
true.
know
I'm
that's what I
living.
just said.
Yeah, I'm
That's what I
living proof
just
of
said.
that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, my gosh, look how far I've come. I'm like,
Exactly. But you know how many people had said that about us? Like, well, I don't know why we bother. There's not, well, I still have people call me. They're like, I just can't. There's nothing we can do. You know what? Yeah, it's gonna, there's no getting rid of it completely, but there is things. But so that's, I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. And Argo, I'm hoping, and I'm not picking on you by any means, because I get what you mean. I do. But there's always hope, and there's always something we can do, if not at all, at least probably the most important thing, soul prepping ourselves to be ready, because all the signs are there. It's big, it's real, it's in our face. And yes, Morgellons, for those of you that said, I don't know why it's not going to do anything, everything we do does something. Everything we do makes an impact, no matter what it's about, as long as it's raising an awareness to truth and the realism of what's taking place in our world. Every step is one small step for man, and not to
well,
be mistaken for them.
and
Not
again,
necessarily.
and again, my greatest gifts came when I learned to not shut up. Okay. So,
Amen. Amen. And I've had many people tell me, you just need to not talk about my family, well, people online, all the time. Well, what are you going to do? It's not going to solve anything. Just live and let live. And I'm just like, you're not getting it. No. And like you said, yes, that's where the greatest gifts come from, because you don't shut up, and because it's kind of very important, like
yeah.
the most important. Everything that is affecting you and you're talking about it means it's pretty damn important. And let me tell you, we're being highly affected, all of us. Yeah, especially those of us showing the signs of Morgellons. But I mean, you don't think the drones in the sky have anything to worry about. But hello, we're sick. Something's causing it. There's a reason that our government didn't shoot them down. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to raise the awareness. I'm going to opt for that every time, because my soul needs to be prepped. And I want my baby girls and my grandbabies to go with me home one day. And all of you home one day. So that's why. Okay, that was exhausting. But yes, Candy,
Hi,
totally
Sharon.
agree.
Hi, Sharon. Hi, Joe.
I am so, because I can't see the chat right now. So
Yeah, I
need to
see him.
overlay that again. Okay. Oh, overlaid. Okay, we got this again. So yeah. Yes, Gator, you're right. They are all tricksters. Absolutely 100%. But I think like you with your YouTube channel, spreading awareness. I think that's so beautiful. We know the ugly that we're filming, and we see it in the haziness that you were filming, especially with the one I commented on it. I see it all day long, but the fact that you're showing it, and people may or may not get it, but one day they will, and I think it's the most important thing. So I am so proud of you, Gator. Just by the way, I hope you know that. I think you're amazing, and keep doing what you're doing. And hello, Joe, and Sharon too, because I'm a little bit late in saying so. Thank you, Candy, for catching that, because I didn't have it overlaid. So
Yeah, me either. I
yeah,
had
my
to.
fart winked. Yeah, I know. I've said the word fart a lot tonight. Maybe I'm gassy. I don't know. We'll see. Pull my finger, Candy. Just kidding. But yeah, no, I mean, I just have to laugh though, because people kind of really do believe that everything just came from a fart, apparently. If they don't believe in the creator, then they definitely got farted here. End of story. So either there's a God or you were farted here. And that's kind of where I'm going with that. And I know I'm not a little fart. Nope, not me. So there's a God, he's a creator, he's wonderful, beautiful, and he told me to not shut up, and he told Candy to not shut up, and he told Gator to not shut up, and Joe and Sharon, and we're not shutting up. Ain't doing it. Can't make us. You just can't. You can give me the biggest wedgie ever. I'm still not shutting up. So I don't like wedgies. I'm not gonna lie though. This can hurt. So
Well, and like when I first went public about everything, my husband and my girls, they were freaking out. They're like, "Mom, you can't do this. You can't do this." I was like, "Guys, you know what? This is not about me. It's not about
Exactly.
you. It's not about
Like,
us.
do we love being persecuted? No.
So much bigger than just our little world. This is like
Exactly.
there's people that need help. They just need somebody to listen. I cannot do this and
100%. Yep.
I
I
cannot.
mean, and that's the obvious right there. Nobody loves persecution. We are not gluttons for punishment. So if we're going out on a limb to do something so extreme as what we are, it's for damn good reason. It's probably for the biggest reason. And I just want everyone to realize that, because shutting up gets the world nowhere other than in the exact same place they are, and every man for himself. And I don't believe that it should be every man for himself. God didn't say that to us, so why should we say that to our fellow brothers and sisters? If we
Well,
don't reach out our hands here, there's no hope, and our job is to give hope and
like
make them aware.
like I
So
say, the people, like, a lot of times in the groups and stuff, it's like, oh, nobody believes me, and my family don't support me. I'm like, you know what? I didn't have that either.
yeah,
Okay, in the
none of
beginning,
us
I
did.
did not.
It's like, get
So
over
guess
it.
what? The only support I got was because I would open up conversations with total strangers that I didn't even know that
Come to
became
find
my
out, those are the
friends
best
and my
listeners.
supporters. So if you shut up, then you're never going to get support. You're never
Amen.
going to get if you don't, you just I'm just telling you, it's like I would not have had any support if I hadn't have opened my mouth. I wouldn't have the doctor I have. My marriage wouldn't have survived because I had to fight so hard for everything,
Yep.
you
But
know?
it is a
And if
perfect
you're not
word,
if you're not
spiritual
getting
battle at its finest, but it's
if you're
one
not
worth
getting
battling.
if you're not getting validation and you're not getting support from your loved ones, guess what? Seek it elsewhere because in the end,
And don't give up on them either, because I still don't get
yeah,
that
well,
support,
like
but
I
I
said in the
refuse
beginning,
to give up.
yeah, in the beginning, mine were all freaking out, but they've come so far, even themselves, but
And that right there is a good example. Candy's living proof, because her family actually, like, her husband fully supports her, and her daughters, like, she's come so far. So that shows you there's always hope. So that's why I don't give up. I just, and I can even see not all of my family, a few of my members coming around slowly. And it's not something like I can shove down their throat and force feed them and get angry if they don't see it, because it's very understandable that it would be very hard to understand, much less, but believing your family member that's never, like, has been nothing but truthful their entire life. They don't just wake up one day crazy and lying. I mean, just want to point that out. And I know for a fact, like, my one of my kids or my mom or somebody woke up tomorrow and said, you know what, Godzilla came in last night, we had breakfast this morning, and we shared a blanket under the stars night before last. I already know for a fact to never say never, but if my mom said that happened for her, if it happened, it happened. Now, granted, we all understand, all of us that are trying to tell everyone about these things, we understand how it sounds. We know it sounds crazy. We know it sounds out there. Don't you think it sounded out there for us? But yet here we are firsthand experiencing the most absurd, wild to our bodies that should never happen. And it's not just one or two or five or 20. It's worldwide, screaming the same exact thing and never finding answers until you start digging deep. And then you find, like, these little blurbs of it or groups on Facebook, which, by the way, when I came down with Morgellons, especially, there were 3 groups. Yours was one of them, Candy. There, if you get on there now, get on Facebook and Google Morgellons disease or Morgellons, however you want to pronounce it, because there's multiple ways. I just know when the G's there and there's not an E, it's usually a Morgellons. But not the point. Just Google it. See how many, like, loads of groups, like Philadelphia Morgellons, Canada Morgellons, Mexico Morgellons, Paris Morgellons, France Morgellons, UK Morgellons. There are groups after group after group with Morgellons disease. And this has just been since, 10 years ago. When I first, there was 3. That's got to tell you something. These people aren't waking up one day crazy. They're not waking up saying, oh, I got these fibers, these weird little wiggly, like, the threads are moving. It's not thread, it's mycelium, okay? But when it's you and you don't know and you're not familiar with fungus and how it works, and it looks like thread. It does. So don't get mad at us. That's what we saw. That's what we understood because nobody educated us on that. But the point is, it's happening. Fungus is in all of you, every single one of you, and as are GMOs, and as are all of the heavy metals raining down from your sky, whether you want to see it or not. You're welcome. I hate that for you. I hate it for me. I hate it for Candy. I hate it for my babies. But it's raining down on our parade. And at least you're aware now. So maybe we can all get together and start fighting back. That's the whole point of this.
And another thing too, I mean, I admin like multiple Morgellons Facebook groups.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's so many trolls out there too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God, it's hard. But even the new people that come in and they're like, oh, I've been dealing with this and didn't realize what I had. And they're just like, I don't know what to do. And it is so hard because I have to screen every single person before I add them to the groups. And like I said, being an admin in multiple groups, which one of them I started myself, and like 3 or 4 of them I actually acquired out of desperation because one of them, the admin left the group. So anybody that wanted to could become the admin. So I didn't want it to get in the wrong hands. So I was like, oh, let me snag that one,
And the wrong hands are very possible. So thank goodness you did.
I snagged
That was the
one
whole
and-
reason I started my YouTube channel. It wasn't because, pretty please pick me. I want to be persecuted next. Anyone, I see UFOs. I've got these weird things coming on my body. I'm going to start a YouTube channel so you guys can crucify me, just like Jesus. Nobody does that for no reason. If I'm going to start a YouTube channel and I'm going to put my ass on the line so that I don't have a friend in the world at all, I get to be alone the rest of my life, which is what happened. I'm going to have my whole family turn against me as well as most of you. Not you guys, but you get my drift. Like, if I did that, that means it's freaking real because nobody's stupid enough to I just really wanted to, I'm going to come up with the wildest concept so everybody will hate me and I will never fit in again. And I could go to the cuckoo house. Been there, done that, got the freaking t-shirt, except for they weren't offering them that day, but use your heads, guys. It's time to use your heads.
And get this, I told you, like Facebook, if it's an open public group, it'll let anybody that wants to join the group without admin approval, without any screening.
And then it goes off into lies half the time and misleading.
All of a sudden, I got these 50 requests to join. And I have to sit there and background check every single one of them. Oh my gosh, it's such a nightmare.
That's time consuming. And I mean, and you're a good woman for doing that because Lord knows I would never have the time. I work freaking 12, 16-hour days, but I think God puts us in our special places and each place we need to be for what we're meant to do. And lady, you have done an amazing, amazing job. I'm so proud of you. I just want you to know that you have just been amazing with that.
You have 50 new requests. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, I have to run background checks all day long, but not like that, not for that reason. So yeah, no, I am very proud of you because you're selective and it's important because there can be so much misinformation out there, and there is. There's misinformation everywhere, and you can't trust what's online. There's censorship's real, folks. It is so real. You can't trust anything. You have to be very selective. And Candy, thank goodness you are, because most of these groups that I can tell are not. And I'll read sometimes in the comments when I do have a second. So many different varieties and levels of, like, oh, you should do this, or oh, it's that, or oh, it's this, oh, it's just Lyme disease. Oh, it's just like, and it's just like a cocktail of confusion. That's what it is. It's a cocktail of confusion. And I'm going to say this again. The most important thing you can do is use your own heart, your own mind, your own discernment, but do your own looking. Don't take anyone's word for anything. Just don't take mine. You don't have to take Candy's, but no, we would never mislead you, or we certainly wouldn't put ourselves out here to be crucified and fed to the wolves, but we do it every day. But you don't listen to anyone. Don't listen to your news, especially. Don't listen to the USA. I'm sorry, that all your world wars lies. 9/11, that's a whole different ballgame. I've got so much in my pockets, but your history lies. Your whole 1800s, those buildings were founded, all right. They were found. They were already here, meaning that population was wiped out. You've been fooled. You're welcome.
You did.
So, I mean, that's founded is exactly, the meaning of founded. You're welcome. That doesn't mean, built this, I established this, I made this 1860 62. No, that means they freaking found it then. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. And all the information's there, but you got to dig deep. You got to dig really deep. It's not going to be like first thing, like, I'm so lazy. I'm just going to use the internet. Was there a world before where people already here in 1800s before? Oh no, the internet said no. No, guys, it's not true. Right here, I Googled it. Not true. It says so. First one that pops says it didn't happen. Well,
Well,
you can
fact
Google
checker said it wasn't true.
Oh
Fact
yeah,
checker
I just went off on that tonight as well. Fact checker, Snoops, or Snoop this, guys. Snoop for sure. Be Snoopy, but don't snoop it.
I call them
Use
fart
your
checkers.
discernment, use your eyes, and use your
call 'em-
intelligence, because I know there's a little left. I know there is. We
call
all
'em
got a
fart
little
checkers.
left. So
You hear me? I call them fart checkers.
fart checkers is right. And since I've been on the fart phrase all night, you guys do not listen to fart checkers, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're just checking your farts.
They're full
Someone's
of gas. They're full of gas.
They are nothing but gaseous lies. I'm just saying. But I mean, the information is there, even online. Even if you start with Googling a patent, is there a patent for fungus used as nanofibers inside the human body? Or you just got to play around with it. Is there drones that can do this or that? I mean, just play around with it, because your answers will come. But you got to use this, especially this. And then talk to him. Talk to the big guy upstairs, because I'm pretty sure we all actually live with the answers. The living word of God is within us. And the discernment has always been there. It's just that they've been trying to wipe that away from us forever through indoctrination. And it's been handed down from generation to generation. And that is a true story. But not today. Not today, Satan, and not tomorrow either. So, all right, Candy Lou, I love you. I love you guys. I know that it's late there and got to go to work tomorrow. So thank you for everyone for joining us, and Gator and Sharon and Joe and Argo. And if I'm missing anyone, Kim, if you're here or not here, I'm saying Kim, just thank you guys. We love you. I love all of you.
And hey, and Merry Christmas in case we don't do podcasts again before then.
That's what I need to say. Thank you, Candy. Oh my gosh. So the main reason I did a double whammy tonight and asked Candy too. I'm like, I am leaving for Oregon on Tuesday, and I'm gone for 2 weeks, and I'm taking those 2 weeks and I'm pouring my heart and soul into my children and my grandchildren. So more than likely, there's not going to be a podcast for the next 2 weeks, but don't be surprised if, especially, I get a wild hair, and then Candy's like, all right, she's just always so kind, and she just goes with it. But as of now, I'm going to try my very best to because sometimes we do have to put things on the back burner and just enjoy the precious moments and the blessings that we do have. And whether they agree with us or believe us or not, it doesn't really matter. It's like me taking my time to appreciate them. They don't have to appreciate me back. I want to appreciate them because I love them. I made them. They came from me. I'm the tree that grew the fruit, I guess. And the tree that I am came from God. So that's all that matters. Just love each other and be kind, and don't be like me and say fart all the time and like you guys are stupid, because I mean, I don't mean that. I just kind of mean it a little bit. I'm sorry, God. You know what I mean? Picking up what I'm doing. But I am sorry, God, though. That wasn't nice.
Hey, I kind of figured out another way to purge a lot of my fabric, right? Everybody's Christmas gifts this year are going to be wrapped in fabric instead of gift.
Yeah. My daughter purged a lot of hers she sews beautifully. She made stockings out of just different varieties and colors, and they were awesome. I hope she has mine. I think I left it there. I got coal in my stocking last year. Actually, for the last 30 years, I've got coal in my stocking. But I say fart a lot, so that's probably why. And a few other choice words, but I still mean well, and I definitely love endlessly. So, and I know you do, Candy, because you have been just beautiful to the world, like my life. But I'm not going to lift you up on that pedestal too much, because I don't want to embarrass you. I mean, you guys, behind your back, though, secretly, she's really the best ever.
I'm going to our hometown parade tomorrow. Got my scooter charged. I'm ready to go.
Oh, that'll be fun. Good for you. And you get to use the scooter in a really great environment. So, well, you enjoy it. And I'm sure your grandbabies will be there, right?
I don't know. I put the word out, but
you know what? Just 20 points for every idiot you have. I said, don't
That's
run them
okay.
over, Candy. I was
They're gonna-
wrong.
No, but they're gonna have vendors and all there too. So
That's
there's gonna be
fun. So crafts and all that. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. Well, you enjoy yourself. Tell George hello, and I hope he enjoys it too. I know he secretly does. He probably says he doesn't, but I bet he does. He's with the most beautiful woman there, so you know he does. All right,
He's
girls and
adorable.
boys. It's been real. It's been fun, and we will see you again soon.
Love
Probably
you guys.
after January, probably in 2025. So yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and all the blessings and love in the world.